Dear kids, today I'm going to teach you how to make a gut healing meat stock. Now, meat stock is different than bone broth in a couple of different ways. So meat stock is cooked with raw meat close to the bone that include bone and meat and any cartilaginous parts of the meat. So today we're going to be doing chicken, and I've got some chicken feet to go with it. It's cooked for for chicken, about an hour and a half. As opposed to a bone broth, which you can cook for 12, 24, 36, 48 hours. And the difference is a meat stock has more gut healing properties. It has a couple of amino acids in it that particularly seal the gut, whereas if it's long cooked like a bone broth, those amino acids cook out. So a bone broth is still very beneficial because it has lots of minerals in it, but if you are trying to heal your gut, you would want to start with a meat stock. So what we're doing is I've got just a couple of chickens. Ideally, of course, you would get pasture raised, but you do what you can with the budget you've got, and my budget is Aldi right now. So we have a couple of Aldi chickens, and we found some chicken feet at Save-A-Lot. We're also going to use some apple cider vinegar, some bay leaves, salt, and peppercorns. You can also add in some fresh bunches of rosemary or thyme or oregano, and a couple of carrots and celery as well, but we're going to just keep it simple. So we're going to start with this. So we're going to open these up, rinse them off, and get them in our stock pot. So these ones still have all the giblets and stuff in it, so we're going to keep all that and put that in the stock as well. We've got interesting parts here. There's a neck, there's probably a heart, and liver. We're gonna keep it all. Rinse it good inside and out. Pop it in. So these are relatively small chickens, so I always like to do a couple because I have a big family and we all like chicken stock. And I'm going to throw in a bunch of feet as well. Maybe half of them. And then I've got another bunch for another batch. That's good. So you want to just cover it with water. If you have city water, I would recommend using filtered water. We have well water, it's pretty good, but you can always use like filtered water from a Berkey or just good bottled water, but for our purposes, our well water is just fine. All right, so we've just covered it with water. You don't want to put too much water on over it, or else it won't be strong enough, but it'll still be good. So, and I'm just gonna splash in a couple tablespoons of vinegar. And salt to your taste. For 2 chickens, I like to do about 2 tablespoons of a good mineral salt. This is Redmond's, because that's what I have right now. You could also do a Celtic or a Himalayan, anything that the minerals haven't been processed out of. And you can do some black peppercorns. Now, if you are relatively healthy, you can just put pepper in it, ground pepper. If you are struggling with gut issues, you would start with peppercorns, because then you can sift those out so they're not the pieces that aren't bothering your gut, but you can get the flavor without having little pieces of pepper bothering the gut. So you can just put them in, or you can crack them. So we're just gonna pop those in. And I always like to do a couple of bay leaves. I'm gonna do 3. I like them. And that's it for now. We're gonna put it on the stove, we're gonna bring it to a boil, and then we're gonna set it down, put it down to a simmer. And we'll meet you back when it's starting to simmer. Okay, so we see that our chicken stock has come to a boil, so we're gonna turn it down to a simmer. There we go. We're gonna let that, so it's not boiling quite so heavily. And we'll let that simmer for about an hour and a half. The chicken should be well done. It should be coming apart and easily coming off the bone when we're done. Okay, so this has been simmering for about an hour and a half. And you can see that it's coming apart real nice and easy. So it's done. Yeah, that's good stuff. So we'll turn it off. And this kind of gunk on the side we'll scrape off. We're not going to keep that. That can go bye-bye. So we'll scrape that out, and then we'll take out all the feet and the meat and let it cool in a pan, and then we'll strain the broth out after it cools. All right, here's the chicken. I pulled it out, and it's been cooling for probably about an hour here. And we're going to go ahead and pour our broth into jars. So we have, she can take that into the sink. We have 1.5 gallons of chicken broth. You can use this for soups, or sometimes we use it to cook our rice in, or you can just, sometimes if we're feeling ill, we'll just warm it up and just have a cup of broth. If you're dealing with gut issues, for a child, you would want to have a goal of 3 cups of broth a day. For an adult with severe gut issues, 5 cups of broth. We don't really have too much of that, so we just kind of maintain. The kids and I will often have a cup or 2 a day, depending on how we're feeling and what we've got available. But a cup a day is good maintenance. Love, Mom.